Yo, what's going on? My name is Mashy, and this is going to be Oracle of Ages Randomizer. We're going to be playing today on Carafruit's fork of the Randomizer, which is the most up-to-date version. We're going to be playing Oracle of Ages, and we're going to have a good time. I'll go into the settings a little bit as we start, so let's get started in 3, 2, 1, let's go. We're going to be playing on normal mode. So this game has multiple difficulty levels. Hard mode can expect some obscure speedrun tricks and stuff that might be a little bit more difficult. So we're playing on normal mode. We're going to be playing with randomized dungeons, randomized cross items, linked items, lots of fun stuff today. So we got the biggoron sword to start off. Biggoron sword is normally only available in the linked game, but in this version of the randomizer, it is available. So we're going to be utilizing that. We also have access to something called warp to start. Warp to start allows us to warp to this main tree. It's very useful. I'm going to be using it a lot. This could be navigating through the first little bit here. Generally the start is very similar depending on what items you get. We pretty much just end up going to the first two items that you normally get, and then we're going to go to the past. The main gimmick of this game is that you can travel between the past and the present. One of the really nice quality of life features is that you can speed up a lot of animations in this. So you'll see me jump into these time portals and they'll like immediately show up in the past. In terms of beating the game, today we're only going to require 5 dungeon clears. We need 5 essences. You can customize how many you want to do. I think 5 is about a decent amount of the game without being overbearing. Like 8 is the standard. That's usually what you play when you're playing through the vanilla game. You get 8 essences and then you go to the final area to beat the game. But in terms of like time, doing it with 5 is probably a little bit better. And there's a slingshot. Alright, so slingshot allows you to shoot seeds. In this game, you get access to these multiple different types of seeds. There's ember seeds, which burn things. There's scent seeds, which can attract enemies. Pegasus seeds, which let you go fast. Gale seeds, which can transport you to the different seed trees, and then mystery seeds, which have a mysterious effect. So this is gale seeds. We're going to go ahead and get those. We also start with a seed type. We have ember seeds to start. Okay. So that is very useful to know, because now that gives us access to the graveyard. So we're going to utilize our ember seeds here and get access to a few items. Also, you may notice that I am playing with an alternate sprite. There are a handful of different sprite options that you can pick. Lots of availability for customization. Each sprite can be chosen to 4 different palettes. So there's 4 different colors that you can use. You can use blue, green, red, and yellow. We went with the blue Marin sprite today. And here is one of our animal companion buddies. His name is Moosh. He's a flying bear. He's really cute. He's being attacked by some ghosts. We help him out, and he allows us onto his back. There are certain events in this game that happen. That is one. Normally, like, if you have access to that animal companion, you're not going to see that event. But if you don't have access, that's the only way to get access to a certain grave. Which has items in it, so we need to be able to access that. So as we head up here, we are going to get access to the top left gravestone, which has 2 items in it. Unfortunately, right now we can only get one of them because we do not have a power bracelet, which happens to be in here, so yeah, we're gonna get both items then. So you normally need the power bracelet in order to pull this lever. It's going to get us Ricky's gloves. Actually could be useful here. I'm not going to go utilize it just yet. I want to get access to one more seed type if I can. Actually, no. We want to do a little bit more. Oh, now that we have that, that helps out a little bit too. So the feather allows you to jump. So we'll be jumping around a lot. And generally, like, the early game is you just try to get access to a few items here and there, so that way you can finally start doing some dungeons. I'm also going to be killing a bunch of random enemies, it seems like, because that's one of the ways to spawn Maple. And Maple is a witch, and she has an item for us. If you bump into her, she'll drop a bunch of things, and one of them is a randomized item. There is also a mechanic in this game called the Gacha tree. And a Gacha tree, you have to plant a Gacha seed and kill a certain amount of enemies for the tree to grow. So that's another thing that I'm going to work towards as well. I'm going to go ahead and plant the seed right away. Probably should have done this a little bit earlier, but not a big deal. This guy's going to give you a seed just for talking to him. And then we can plant it in this soft soil right over here. And just work our way around. A lot of this early game is very straightforward. Very similar, depending on what you end up doing. And there is our first tune. So we got the Tune of Echoes. That is going to allow us to awaken sleeping portals. So now we don't have to use that one specific spot in order to go back in time. There are multiple places that we can use now. And there's the Fool's Ore. Fool's Ore is, how do I say it, the best item in the game. Or the best weapon in the game. This thing can just clobber enemies. And actually, now that I have access to three different seed types, I'm gonna go talk to Tingle. Tingle has 2 items for me. One, if you just talk to him the first time, and a second one if you talk to him with 3 different seed types. In the vanilla game, he gives you a seed satchel upgrade, but that has turned into a random item here. And we got ourselves the mermaid suit. Mermaid suit allows us to swim into deep waters, as well as swim underwater. Very, very useful. And a sword. Okay. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. One of the quality of life things about this version of the randomizer is that normally in the vanilla game you have to manually press the D-pad over and over when you have the mermaid suit in order to move in a direction. However, that has been changed. We now just have to hold the direction, which is so much better. Got yourself a heart ring out of that. Heart ring is a very useful ring. It's going to allow us to restore health over time. As we walk around, we're going to restore a little bit of HP here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And we're going to check out the past island. Not a whole lot we can do here, but still a good place to be. And I'll probably want to check out our first dungeon very soon. In fact, I could probably access 2 dungeons right now. So we'll see what I end up doing here. There's the Rod of Seasons. Doesn't really do anything in Oracle of Ages, but it's still good to have. It does defeat undead type enemies a little bit faster, so it's good to have. Alright, I think... yeah, before I go to any dungeons, let's go ahead, get our rupees, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go grab a big pack of rupees over here, because we already know there's another harp in the shop, and having the Tune of Currents changes a lot. So this old man will give you 200 rupees just for talking to him. Very nice old man. However, if you talk to him in the present, he's a very bitter old man and he'll steal rupees from you. We're gonna quickly do a game of dancing here. There's 2 items on dancing. We need a letter to do the second one. I probably should have mentioned that that is entirely audio-based cue, so you want to have a little bit of serious time for that. And that got me bombs. Okay, very, very good. The only way to get bombs in this game is actually through obtaining them by, like, through a random check. So getting access to bombs is very, very solid. We get the Tune of Currents as well. And now we are basically off to the races. We have access to 2 dungeons, actually 3 dungeons now. And one of the really cool things about this is that you can have the higher version of the harp playing and still activate the portals as well. Another quality of life upgrade. Yo, Azito with the Prime Gaming, appreciate it. But yeah, we're gonna go check out Dungeon 2. Dungeon 2 has multiple entrances. We are playing with randomized dungeon entrances, so we're gonna see that both of these entrances are not going to lead to the same location. So this is the Dungeon 2 entrance here. We're gonna bomb it open, and we get access to level 5. Not a dungeon we can complete currently, but we can do a little bit in here. Might as well check it out. So in order to complete this dungeon, we are going to need the Cane of Samaria. We'll probably end up coming back here later, because this is a very quick dungeon to complete. But yeah, overall we're just gonna kind of look through here, see what we can find. If we can find anything of value at all. This room is completely dark, but I know where the path is, so we can just kind of go through it really quickly. Normally you're expected to use the Cane of Samaria to create a block and then just kind of push it around to see where the path is. It's very slow. Just learn the path. Yo, Oreo with the 4 months, appreciate it. Welcome back. And we got the Fairy Powder there. Fairy Powder is another dungeon key, essentially. It locks one of the dungeons later on in the game. And here we go, we got access to Dungeon 1. So we're gonna go ahead and beat this dungeon. Ooh! Green ring is also a very good item. Very good ring to have. It increases our attack and defense, so it's very strong. Alright, we got ourselves a key. We need 1 key in order to make any progress in here. Yo, Oreo with the 10 pack, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the other thing we need to find the boss key. When you have maps and compasses, when you have the compass, any room that has a key is going to make a jingle. We started with maps and compasses this run, just to speed things up a little bit. So you're going to hear those compass jingles all the time, pretty much. And that is the Tokay Eyeball, another key to another dungeon. We're just getting access to a lot of things really, really quickly. Alright, nothing there. Gaseous seeds after that first one don't really mean anything. They're kind of like your filler items, so if you see a gaseous seed, don't really pay any attention to it. And there's the Power Glove. Power Glove is usually one of the last items you'll find, because that is the dungeon item from the last possible dungeon in the game. But, we ended up finding it pretty early today. Maybe that means we're gonna do D8? I don't know. So there's our boss key. Now we just kind of, go ahead and beat the dungeon. So this boss is very easy when you have the Fool's Lure. Yeah. Fool's Lure kind of makes things a little bit too easy sometimes. Normally, the Fool's Lure you only get for a brief moment in Oracle of Seasons, where you get your feather stolen from you. And normally, like, you don't actually get to fight any enemies, unless you force an enemy to spawn. But you're able to, like, one-shot things. It's great. Here's Jabu. So this is one of the later dungeons in the game. Normally we wouldn't even be able to walk in here. We wouldn't even be able to make any progress if we didn't have the mermaid suit. We would just drown in the entrance. But because we already have mermaid suit, we're fine. And that's all we can do for now. But yeah, we have access to, like, a lot of things here and there. I'm actually tempted to go and check out Dungeon 8 entrance. We have access to it. It's not in logic until you have the cane, because there's another dark room. But who really cares about logic, right? No, tested with the tier 1. Appreciate it. Welcome. Oh! I don't really need a boomerang. I'll kind of think about that later. But for the most part, the boomerang is not not useful. Unless I get the level 2 boomerang. Well, there's the hyper slingshot. That kind of obsoletes the boomerang as well. Yeah, the level 2 boomerang is a cross item. It's normally available only in seasons. Same thing with the hyper slingshot. Slingshot and hyper slingshot are seasons items as well. Those are part of the cross item pack that we have added on today. But there is a base boomerang in Oracle of Ages as well. So it's not completely a seasons item. It's just the level 2 is. So here's the dark room. Again, like, as long as you know the path, you can just make it through. But logic expects you to have the cane in order to figure out the path there. Alright, I'm breaking out the trusty rock. We're gonna defeat some high-level enemies here. These guys are very difficult. Very, very difficult. Like, if I didn't have this rock, they'd be taking a lot of hits from us, but, we're just rocking and rolling here. And this is also good because this is getting us a lot more enemy kills for Maple and for the Gasha tree. So when we leave, we'll be fine. And here we have Dungeon 2. It's a very, very solid dungeon to have. We're going to make our way through here pretty easily. Rock Brisket, that is a trade item. Well, technically a trade item. It's something that you have to do in the main story. You go around trading things with Gorons in order to get a key eventually. In order for us to actually do the trading with the Gorons, we are going to need the Brother Emblem, which is another item. So it doesn't really do anything by itself. We'll have to get another item in order to do the full extent of it. It only gives us one item, so it's not too crazy. Here's our first mini-boss. This is Swoop. Swoop says, "One without wings is no match for me." Well, we have a rock. So yeah, a lot of these dungeons, these early dungeons, there's not too much going on. pretty simple. Just kind of making our way through, grabbing any keys along the way, and just seeing what items we get. I think we're probably hitting Maple pretty soon. So I think as soon as we leave here, we'll get access to Maple. Like, we're definitely getting a lot of kills, right? Maple, between meetings, takes 30 kills to show up again. The Gasha Tree Nut takes 40 kills. So both of them combined, I think we're probably pretty good. Alright, so there's our boss key. We'll definitely be able to beat the boss here. Again, any like early game level, we're able to just kind of run through real quick. We're still missing some of the items, so we can't do every dungeon yet. But we're quickly getting there. So this room is awful. You've got some of the worst enemies in the game, P-hats, in very confined spaces. And you have to escort this pod around a bunch of pits. It's not fun. There are ways to get around it, but unfortunately we do not have any of those ways right now. And this puzzle here, you just kind of match up the colors, and that's about it. You have to jump over the tile in order to change which color you can push. A lot of this game is just color tiles, jumping, all that fun stuff, just doing it over and over again. This room, you defeat all the enemies. They change color after a certain amount of time, so you just gotta keep getting ahead of them and changing the color again. And we're quickly coming up on the boss. This is one of the more unique bosses in the game. It's a side-scroller. And you have to throw bombs into the top. If you set it up properly, you can get a good cycle where I can just drop bombs into the head every time. But if you mess it up, this fight can go awry really quickly. So yeah, the color puzzles were a part of the third planned game as well. Like, one game was supposed to be color puzzles, and another one was supposed to be something completely different. But they scrapped the third game in order to make it a little bit easier. Easier to utilize the password system. So, in the vanilla games, you can use passwords to go between seasons and ages and get certain items, like the biggoron sword. Stuff like that. But you have to utilize those passwords in a linked game. There's the letter of introduction. That's what we're looking for. That is one of the things that opens up the second round of dancing. So that was our item there. Don't really need to do dancing just yet. I'm sure there's other things we want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the tree, because I'm sure we're able to harvest the tree now. Yeah, so there is a nut, and it just got us another gaseous seed, so not really useful at all. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check out a new area. This is gonna be Symmetry City. In order to get there, we have to build this bridge. So we have to get these carpenters to get back to work. We have Dimitri as our buddy here. I believe this is the... Yeah. So, there's a fun thing you can do in the randomizer, and that is to navigate this area using only the tune of currents. And as you can see, it's not very intuitive. Also, I'll hit like a button or two. Yeah, and if you get caught by the guards, you get thrown out, but you can just walk right back in. This game's great. But yeah, after talking to 3 different carpenters, they get back to work and they build the bridge for us. And that's going to lead us to a new area. Alright, that got us some scent seeds. Scent seeds are somewhat okay. They're not very useful, but it's good to have them. And here in Symmetry City, the whole gimmick is that the entire town is symmetrical, and anyone in the town can not move without the other person on the other side moving. It just so happens we're able to ignore the rules of the town, so we can kind of help them out. Oh, there's a brother emblem. Okay. So that's good to have. Now we can do that trait that I talked about earlier. I can do a very bad check. I'm gonna put it off. Just because we have access to other things. Like, I'm gonna go back and we're gonna go to do that trade. So we want to be in the present in order to get the trade done. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. Also, we can do dancing part 2. So there's a whole lot we can do here. I'm gonna set up another thing here. It's another check down in the puddle. And now for dancing part 2, again, this is an audio cue, so serious time. And that got me what is actually a vanilla mermaid key. So we're gonna go ahead and just check out the dungeon now. That's normally where you get that exact key. And this is present D6. Not a good dungeon. This is the one dungeon we don't actually have to do. In order to complete the game normally. However, we're here. I know there's a way for me to do this without, like, going crazy. But yeah, we'll do it that way. I don't have the satchel, so I can't do that one. Actually, I can't do anything here. I can't do anything here. Yeah, that's certainly a thing. But yeah, we're gonna make our way over to another part of the world. This is a route that you don't normally take. But it's gonna get me over here, so I'm gonna do it. Oh! Well then. Switch hook opens up a lot for me, so I'm absolutely just going back the way I came. And there's the level 2 switch hook. Okay. Okay, game, I see what you're trying to do. So yeah, switch hook is essentially the hook shot of this game, except the gimmick is that you switch places with whatever you grab onto. It's a very unique mechanic that was added in. Alright, so this is target carts. Normally you play this with a seed shooter, but we don't have a seed shooter, but we have a hyper slingshot. And I missed the one in the corner. There we go. Much better. And there's actually 2 items here, so I'm gonna do a quick little save scum to see what the second item is. Because I may not want to do it. I definitely want to do it. Yeah, that is the Tune of Ages, which is one of the more important items to get. That opens up time travel completely, and we can now just go through time whenever, wherever we want. We don't need a portal, we don't need to be in the past. Like, I'll just stand right here and boom. Actually, that's a heart container. I'll take it. We'll take a heart container. So we're in a pretty good position right now. Now that we have the level 2 switch hook, we can go back to Dungeon 7, which was Jabu, and we can complete that. 99%. There's one item we can't get because we need the cane for it, but I'm not too concerned about that. I think I forgot to check the tree. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, you know what? I can fix that. I can fix that right now. Now we're good. Yeah, I think the Tune of Ages is supposed to represent the Zora Sapphire. It's basically like the same shape. And since Nehru is like the goddess of wisdom, also blue, like it just plays off of all of that. But yeah, here we are back inside Jabu Jabu's belly. Immediate boss key. Perfect. Yeah, this dungeon is one of those that's like very divisive. I find it to be very fun in a randomizer setting, but it can be a very confusing dungeon to go through, so I can see why people would rather not. But once you know how to navigate this dungeon, it's very, very fun. Very open. A lot of different things you can do. In the vanilla game, this dungeon is absolutely awful because it requires you to follow a very strict path of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And there's a spot where you can actually fall off a ledge and have to redo every bit of progress that you made. And it's not fun. But at least here in Randomizer, when you're able to just come into this dungeon with the level 2 switch hook already and the mermaid suit, you can just kind of fly through, do things however you want. Yeah, there's a lot of keys locked here today. We're not going to have to do a lot of stuff here. Oh, finally! We finally have a satchel. Except we don't have pegasus seeds. We still don't have the pegasus seeds. So we can't go fast. But we can use that to navigate, so it's not terrible. Oh, we have access to pegasus seeds now. As soon as we finish this dungeon, we're gonna go to another dungeon and get those. Oh, alright. We may be very, very close to just beating this. Let me see. I need Cain for... You need cane for 5, 6, and 7. Or 5, 6, and 8. We might not need the cane. Obviously, if we find it, it helps us, but we're in a position where we could probably just finish the game now. Depends on where the keys are. We're still missing, what, 2 dungeon keys? Alright, I'll take a bomb flower. Bomb flower gets us one item, so it's not the worst. But there we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. There's only no, there's actually multiple checks that we haven't gotten yet. Alright, that's a key, that's good. So I think in terms of items, there's just one on the bottom floor, and then one, maybe 2 over here. Alright, there's a heart container. I'll take that. Oh, it changed the water level. Okay, never mind. We're not doing that. We're not doing that right now. So yeah, fighting the boss actually reset the water level. And yeah, now that we have the Tune of Ages, we're able to access the Zora Seas. And Zora Seas is going to have us another dungeon that we can access. And more importantly, it's also going to have the tree that has the pegasus seeds. And with pegasus seeds, we're going to be able to go fast. Oh, I actually can't access the dungeon. Oh, wait, where's the pegasus seeds then? Oh, I know where the pegasus seeds are. They're vanilla then. Because we haven't been over to the other side. We have not been over to the west side of Rolling Ridge yet. And that's actually where I need to go for another dungeon. But coming over here was good. We have library key. We're getting some decent stuff. There's the cape. Cape's the big one. So Cape is normally only in seasons, and well, it breaks open a lot of things here. And the book. Do I have to go to the library? I think I have to go to the library. Game is definitely telling me to go to the library. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not that one. But yeah, we're gonna make our way over to Rolling Ridge West. Rolling Ridge West is going to give us a lot of possibilities. Oh, I thought I went there because I was heading there. That's why. I was heading this way, but then we got this switch hook and we pivoted away from that. That's why I'm thinking we were already over here. Alright, Oreo, thanks for the good luck. Appreciate it. Anyway, this is going to lead us to a new dungeon. We should be able to do whatever dungeon we find here. Unless it's D... Actually, we have D6, D8 still out there. There are some dungeons we can't do. And there's the mirror shield. That's certainly a useful item. I'll definitely be using that. Yeah, the mirror shield doesn't do anything. It's not even, like, worth our time to, like, think about it. Alright, let's go ahead. We'll grab our pegasus seeds from this tree here. And we'll make our way into the fight here. So this is the King of Moblin. What we have to do is we have to throw bombs back at him over and over until he gives up, basically. And there we go. Very easy fight. Got us another cache seed. Never finding anything useful. Here in the basement, also a gaseous seed. But now that we've defeated the King Moblin, his castle's out of the way so we can access the dungeon. That's all we really wanted to do anyway, is just access the dungeon. Of course it is. Alright, so this is the duplicate entrance. So there is one dungeon entrance that is duplicated because of the way the randomization works. I can actually do one more check here now, so I'm going to do it. But yeah, normally because Dungeon 2 has two entrances, they would both lead to the same place, but that has been decoupled for the randomizer. Okay. Boss key's good. Like if we ever find the cane, we're gonna want to come back there. Because that's gonna be an easy dungeon to just complete real quick. Because we have boss key, we can just finish it immediately. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go into Ambi's Palace here. Ambi's Palace is one of the things we have to do. We either have to go through here, or we have to go through the Maku tree, Maku path, in order to complete the game. Because we have to access the Maku tree. So coming in here is actually a really good idea. Gets me a couple items, and then we get access to the path anyway. So it's a win-win. And now this fight, you have to use mystery seeds and to expose the evil within, and then we use the switch hook to pull it out, and then we can finally attack. This is a fight that really shows the limitations of the Game Boy Color. Having to constantly swap between items because we can't have a sword equipped at all times. And this gives us access to the Maku tree, which got us a seed shooter, which is a very solid item to find. And there's another key. So we have access to another dungeon, which is very good. Ideally, this is a dungeon we can complete. And now we're heading backwards through the Maku path. Normally you go through the other way, so we're gonna get kind of stuck in this door. But as long as we have the key, we can make our way through. And we just grab an item up here. Zora scale, okay. That's another thing that opens up a couple items. It's not terrible, it's not great. But yeah, we're gonna come over here and we're gonna check out a new dungeon. See which one we got. Well, it's dungeon 8. We can't do this one. Again, we need a cane. As soon as we find the cane, we're in go mode. Guaranteed at this point. There's the other boomerang. Okay. Tuning is good. That gives me access to another dungeon. But I'm not gonna bail out of here just yet because there are a few more items. I gotta make sure the cane's not up here. Lava juice gets me another check as well. Graveyard key. Okay. Now I think we're in guaranteed go mode. Like we have, I think we have access to all the dungeons, so we should be good. No matter what. Because I only need to defeat 2 more dungeons. Now, obviously, the cane locks 3 of them. So if I can find the king, like, it's guaranteed. But we have enough to be able to do every other dungeon. Alright, here's dungeon 4. This one's interesting because of the addition of the cape. The cape changes the logic here a little bit. Oh, there's the noble sword. So yeah, the cool thing about the cape is that we're able to skip the entire, like, first half of the dungeon just by jumping like that. And there's the boss key. Cool. So we're basically done here. I'm just gonna kind of run to the end. You do have to fight this mini-boss. Mini-boss is kind of annoying. You have to hit him with his sword 3 times before you can actually do anything else. But once you do that, he dies pretty quickly with the rock. And now it's just a matter of running to the end. And then after this, we just have to find Dungeon 3, which is probably going to be at Dungeon 4 entrance. Which shouldn't be too hard to get to. The only thing that would prevent me from doing Dungeon 3 is if I find Cain. Then we just go ahead and beat 5. But otherwise, I think we're pretty much doing what we need to do. That was Eyesore. Bye, Eyesore. So actually we have 2 options for where this is. Both of them aren't great. I think this one's a little bit easier. So we have the dungeon here, which is the original Jabu Jabu. What we have to do is we have to cure King Zora, and then we have to come to the present and talk to him again. We also needed to clean the seas, which we already did. So we already did half of what we needed to do here. Now it's just a matter of talking to him again. He'll tell us to go to the library to figure out how to clean the seas. But we've already done it, so then we just talk to him a second time and he'll let us enter Jabu Jabu. There we go. And this is going to get us either D6 entrance, or D6 past, or D3. We need D3. It's D3, perfect. That's the one we needed. I need more bombs. I'm looking at my bomb count like, this is not good. I'll be fine. But I needed a little bit more just to get through this part. And there is the cane. Too bad we're already in here, otherwise I would go back to 5 and finish that up. Because 5 is not terribly bad. But it's easier to just finish up the dungeon that we're in, rather than going to another one. So yeah, I think even if we were doing all 8 dungeons, we would be in go mode now. Like, that just shows you like how close we were to go mode overall. Like, it would just add a little bit of extra time clearing out those dungeons. We're still looking for Bosky here. Just gotta keep trucking. It could very well just be there in that room. Or it could be here. There's a lot of different rooms that we could be checking here. Alright, so that was a small key. This, also a small key. Now that means I have to go back here. Alright, right now we're just listening for sounds. There it is. There's our boss key. And then we just come right over here. This boss is interesting because you can't look at her directly. In order to damage her, you have to attack from behind. So that's where the seed shooter comes in. You have to bounce your seeds off the wall to attack her. And that got us our 5th essence. And that is all we needed. So now we're just going to go ahead and finish up the game. The end of this is going to go pretty quickly, I think. All you have to do is talk to the Maku tree. Once you have enough essences, she's gonna give us the Maku seed, which is gonna allow us to open up the final boss area. Which is conveniently located right in town. It just happens to be a giant tower that we have to climb. And, you know, there's a lot of enemies here, but we can basically just ignore them all. There's no reason to even bother with them. And this is the part where the Mako Seed comes into play. It's going to reveal the correct door to go through. It shows all essences, but we only got 5. Yeah. That's fine. That's all we needed, right? And now for the moment of truth. Ah. So that Dark Nut there can sometimes... You can sometimes grab his attention, and you can switch with him. And clip through the block there, but it only saves like a little bit of time. It's not worth going for multiple times. It really just depends on what his pattern looks like. If it's good, you go for it. If it's not, you don't go for it. And that takes us into the final boss fight. First phase looks a little familiar. That's because it is exactly the same as the fight inside Amy's Palace. Only difference here is that you're gonna get more teleports. Most likely. Alright, 1 teleport is not bad. Not bad at all. And now we go into Phase 2. Phase 2, she reveals her true form. We're just going to smack her with a rock a couple times and head into the final phase. Yeah, not too bad when you have the rock. Like, the Fool's Ore just kind of obliterates everything. So we think it's fine, we're done, but there's actually one more phase. She's gonna alternate between beetle form and either a spider or a bee. But she can only be defeated when she's in the beetle form. With the Fool's Ore, we have plenty of damage to be able to defeat her in 1 cycle, and that's GG. Time very, very quick. And that does it for Oracle of Ages Randomizer. Normal mode, random dungeons, cross items, linked items, 5 essences was the settings today. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely a lot of fun playing this. Overall, the seed itself was pretty good. Like, can't really complain. Other than the placement of the cane. That was the only thing that really threw me off. But 134.37 is still a very good time, so I'm happy with that. Like, we could have definitely gotten some bad luck in certain spots. Obviously, if we didn't get the Fool's Ore as early as we did, combat would have been a little bit more challenging. It wouldn't have been that much worse, but it would have been more challenging. Because we probably would have had to swap back to the biggoron sword a bunch. But we got decent luck with our dungeons. The fact that we didn't find Kane early helped us out in some ways because we didn't have to do Dungeon 8, we didn't have to do Dungeon 6. We did most of 5 anyway, but you kind of do most of 5 anyway, no matter what. Thanks for the GGs, everyone. Appreciate it. Anyway, thank you all for watching this randomizer. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one.